Maya sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the glowing text on her phone. Her chest felt tight as if someone had dropped a stone inside it. I befriended your therapist on Facebook, her boyfriend Ryan had written. He told me everything about your sessions. You're more messed up than I thought. She blinked twice, rereading it to be sure she wasn't imagining things. Her hands began to shake. For a moment she thought she might throw up. Then she whispered to herself, No, he didn't. He wouldn't. But deep down she knew Ryan wasn't the type to lie for fun. He typed a single message in return. Thanks for letting me know. Her fingers hovered over the screen for a few seconds before she placed the phone face down beside her. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. Instead, a strange calm washed over her. She'd been seeing Dr. Henry Collins for almost a year. He specialized in family trauma and had helped her unpack years of emotional abuse from her narcissistic mother. Now it seemed the man who promised confidentiality had betrayed her most private thoughts. Maya opened her laptop, her breath shaky, and began saving every bit of evidence she could find. She took screenshots of Ryan's messages, the timestamps, the parts where he bragged about chatting with Dr. Collins online. Within minutes she found the doctor's public Facebook profile. Smiling headshot, soft pastel posts about healing and inner peace. Then at the bottom of his friends list she saw it. Ryan Walker added just 2 weeks ago. Her pulse spiked. Clicking through their posts, she froze when she saw Ryan's caption under a picture of coffee mugs. Some conversations change everything. And Dr. Collins' comment. Always happy to help, Ryan. By the time she closed her laptop, her heart was hammering. She whispered. He really told him everything. The next evening, Maya walked through her apartment door after work. Ryan was there, lounging on the couch with a smug grin and a glass of wine. So, he said casually, are we going to talk about it? Talk about what? She asked, setting down her bag. You getting my therapist to gossip about me online? Ryan laughed softly. Relax, it's not that serious. I just wanted to understand what's wrong with you. Maya's eyes flashed. What's wrong with me? You violated my privacy. You both did. He shrugged. Dr. Collins told me you have trust issues. Said it's probably from your mother. It actually explains a lot. Maya stared at him, stunned. He said that to you? Yeah, Ryan said smugly, taking another sip. We've been talking for weeks. He's really insightful. Said you might be struggling with attachment anxiety. Did he tell you that over Facebook or in person? She asked quietly. Both. Why? Maya's voice hardened. Because every word you just said is a federal violation. Ryan frowned. You're overreacting again. No, she said, standing tall now. I'm documenting everything. Ryan set his glass down and stood up, his tone shifting. You're acting paranoid again. This is why he said you need more help. Maya crossed her arms. He said that too? He said you might twist things when you feel cornered. That's part of your pattern, apparently. She felt her stomach drop. Every word was like a blade. Her therapist had said this? The same man who nodded kindly every week while she opened old wounds? Ryan, she said slowly, what exactly did you two talk about? He smirked. Everything. Your crying sessions, the stuff about your mom, how you struggle with control. It's kind of sad, honestly. Her voice was steady, but her eyes burned. And you thought that was okay? I was trying to understand you better, he snapped. You make everything so dramatic. Dr. Collins just helped me see what's really going on. Maya stepped closer, lowering her voice. You both crossed a line. That's not therapy, that's exploitation. Please, he scoffed. You're always the victim. She stared at him, her hands trembling. You don't even realize how illegal this is. Ryan laughed coldly. Illegal? He was just helping. Maybe you should be grateful someone's trying to help me deal with you. Maya didn't respond. Instead, she walked to her bedroom, grabbed her phone, and began taking pictures. Every message, every like, every comment. When she came back out, Ryan was still smirking on the couch. Collecting evidence? He teased. Yes, she said simply. For the state licensing board. He blinked, the smirk faltering. What? She looked him in the eye. What Dr. Collins did, sharing private patient details, is a violation of federal law. He can lose his license. And you? He interrupted, defensive now. I didn't do anything wrong. You reached out, you encouraged it, and you benefited, she said quietly. You're part of it. That night, after Ryan stormed out muttering about crazy accusations, Maya stayed up filing her report. She downloaded the complaint form from the Behavioral Sciences Board website, her heart pounding as she filled in each box. Breach of confidentiality. Ethical misconduct. Evidence attached. By 2 a.m., the document was 12 pages long, complete with screenshots, timelines, and her treatment invoices to prove she was an active patient. She hovered over the submit button for a moment, whispering, "You told him everything. Now I'm telling everyone." Then she clicked send. The next morning her phone buzzed. A reply from the licensing board. "Thank you for submitting your complaint. Your case will be reviewed within 48 hours. Maya exhaled shakily. It was real now. There was no undoing it. By the end of the week, an investigator named Robert called her. His voice was calm but firm. "Miss Carter, I've read your report. This is serious. Can you come in Thursday to make a statement?" "Yes," she said without hesitation. "I'll bring everything." When she hung up, she sat in silence for a long time, realizing something heavy. Her therapist, the man who'd helped her find her voice, had weaponized it against her. 2 days later, Maya sat in a quiet office across from Robert, a middle-aged man with tired eyes and a notepad. "Tell me everything," he said. She did. From the first session to the Facebook messages. He listened carefully, nodding occasionally, asking for dates and screenshots. When she showed him the post of Ryan and Dr. Collins meeting for coffee, his expression darkened. "He met your boyfriend in person?" "Yes." He tapped his pen. "That's not just unethical. That's deliberate manipulation. You've done the right thing." Maya swallowed hard. "So, what happens now?" "We'll request his communication records and Facebook data," Robert replied. "If this is as bad as it looks, he'll be suspended." That weekend, Dr. Collins called her. "Maya, this is Dr. Collins," his voice said over voicemail. "I'm very concerned about some false allegations that have been made. There's been a terrible misunderstanding. Please call me back." He didn't. Instead, she took a screenshot of the call log and sent it to Robert. By Monday he called again, sounding grave. "He's already trying to contact you? Do not respond." Maya nodded, though he couldn't see her. "I won't." Robert's tone softened. "You're doing everything right. Stay calm. These cases move fast when there's evidence." On Tuesday afternoon, Maya received a message from a stranger named Clara. "Hi, you don't know me, but I saw your post in the community group. Dr. Collins was my therapist too. He told my husband personal details from my sessions. I thought I was losing my mind." Maya's blood ran cold. She replied immediately. "You're not crazy. He did the same thing to me." Within hours, 2 more women reached out, each with their own story. A mother who'd learned her daughter's trauma details through him. A wife whose partner used her therapy sessions against her in court. Maya's inbox filled with pain and disbelief. This wasn't an accident. It was a pattern. By Wednesday, 5 of them had formed a private group chat. The stories made Maya sick. One woman said Dr. Collins told her husband about her miscarriage. Another said he'd messaged her sister to bridge family healing. They all had screenshots. Proof. Maya wrote to Robert again. "It's bigger than I thought." He replied within minutes. "Bring everyone's statements. This may become a full board hearing." Maya looked at her screen, the names of the other women blinking in the chat, and whispered, "He's done this to all of us." It wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was systemic abuse of trust. Late that night, Ryan texted her from a new number. "We need to talk. Please. Dr. Collins reached out to me first. I swear." Maya stared at the message, her breath catching. A second text followed. "He said you were unstable. He told me to document everything you did. He said you might hurt yourself or me." Her eyes widened. "He lied to both of us," she whispered. For the first time she felt something other than fear, clarity. She typed back, "Send me every message he sent you. All of it." And when Ryan began forwarding the screenshots, Maya realized the truth. Her therapist hadn't just betrayed her. He had orchestrated everything. The screenshots from Ryan kept coming. Dozens of messages between him and Dr. Collins. Maya read each one, her stomach twisting tighter with every line. If she gets upset, document it. One message read. Mention her mother. Watch how she reacts. Don't give her space. We need to observe her triggers. It wasn't therapy, it was manipulation. The man who was supposed to help her heal had turned her relationship into a psychological experiment. She saved everything into a new folder labeled Collins Evidence 2, her hands trembling the entire time. The next morning she forwarded all of it to Robert. His reply came within an hour. Come in tomorrow morning. Bring every file. When she arrived at the board office, Robert met her at the door. You did the right thing, Maya, he said. This is even worse than we thought. He spread out printed copies of the messages across the table. He coached your boyfriend. He manipulated multiple patients. This isn't just unethical, it's criminal. Maya's throat felt dry. How many others? Robert sighed. At least 4 confirmed. But after this evidence, we expect more to come forward. Within a week, the investigation gained momentum. Maya learned that Dr. Collins had been reported before. Quietly, cases dismissed for lack of proof. Now, with multiple victims and hard evidence, the board couldn't ignore it. They scheduled a disciplinary hearing within 3 weeks. Dr. Collins was temporarily suspended pending review. Still, he didn't go quietly. He sent emails to the victims, claiming they were mentally unstable, that this was all a conspiracy. When one woman blocked him, he created a new account and tried again. Robert advised them all to document everything. Maya did. Every call, every message, every attempt to intimidate. Then came the public explosion. One morning, Maya woke up to find Dr. Collins' Facebook page filled with a long post titled The Truth About the Lies. He didn't name names but described a group of disturbed women inventing stories to destroy a professional man's career. Maya's jaw clenched. He's trying to play the victim. He sent the post to Robert. His reply was instant. Got it. That's defamation and another ethics breach. By the end of the day, the post had been taken down, but not before screenshots spread online. The damage to his reputation was already underway. A week later, the board hearing took place. Maya sat in a quiet conference room with 4 other victims. Their faces showed fear and exhaustion, but also unity. When her name was called, she took a deep breath and stepped forward. She described everything. Her therapy sessions, the betrayal, the messages. When she read out the part where Dr. Collins called her a subject worth studying, the room fell silent. One board member rubbed her temples. Another muttered, unbelievable. When Maya finished, she sat down, shaking. One of the women next to her, Clara, whispered, You were amazing. Then Dr. Collins took the stand. He wore a neatly pressed suit, his voice calm but defensive. These patients misunderstood therapeutic methods, he said smoothly. Social media involvement is part of building trust in modern therapy. The board chair, an older woman with gray hair, raised an eyebrow. Mr. Collins, are you suggesting discussing a patient's private trauma with their boyfriend over Facebook is acceptable practice? He hesitated, color draining from his face. That's not what I meant. Then clarify, she pressed. I was only trying to help. He stammered. They were all emotionally fragile. Which is exactly why they trusted you, the chair replied coldly. The hearing continued for hours. Each woman shared her story, Clara, Emily, Nora, and Jess. Their pain was different, but their pattern was the same. Trust, manipulation, exposure. When Ryan's testimony began, the room tensed. He looked uncomfortable in his chair, eyes lowered. Dr. Collins told me to befriend him on Facebook, Ryan said quietly. He said Maya was unstable and that I could help manage her behavior. I didn't realize I was being used. Maya stared at him, emotions swirling between anger and pity. For once he wasn't smug. He looked broken. Dr. Collins lost control halfway through Ryan's testimony. They're all lying, he shouted suddenly. Every single one of them. They're conspiring because I refuse to keep treating them for free. The board chair raised a hand. Mr. Collins, please control yourself. But he kept shouting. She's manipulating you. She manipulates everyone. He pointed directly at Maya, his face red with rage. She was obsessed with me. The board chair's voice cut through the noise like a blade. Enough. 2 security guards stepped forward. The room went still. After 2 hours of deliberation, the decision came. The chair read the verdict clearly. Due to repeated violations of patient confidentiality, manipulation of clients, and unethical behavior, Dr. Henry Collins' license is hereby permanently revoked. He is barred from practicing therapy in this state and subject to criminal referral for breach of confidentiality under HIPAA law. Maya exhaled for what felt like the first time in months. Clara reached for her hand and squeezed it. "We did it," she whispered. Tears filled Maya's eyes, not of sadness but relief. Justice had finally caught up. The next month was a blur of news headlines, police investigations, and messages from other victims who had seen the story online. Dr. Collins' career collapsed overnight. His malpractice insurer dropped him. He was fined heavily for HIPAA violations and later sentenced to probation and community service. Meanwhile, Maya and the other women created a small support group, meeting online every week. One evening, Clara said softly, "You saved a lot of people, Maya." Maya smiled faintly. "No, we saved each other. It wasn't revenge. It was healing." Months passed. Maya found a new therapist through the board's referral network, an older woman named Dr. Lewis. Their first session began with a quiet smile and a single sentence that melted her fear. "I don't have social media and I don't share what isn't mine." Maya laughed softly, tears in her eyes. "That's a relief." Healing didn't come fast, but it came honestly. Each week she rebuilt what had been broken: trust, self-worth, and peace. For the first time in years, therapy felt safe again. One rainy afternoon, Ryan emailed her a long apology. "I was manipulated too. I didn't realize how far it went until I saw the messages again. I'm in therapy now, real therapy. I'm sorry for everything." Maya read the message twice. The old her might have replied with anger. The new her simply typed, "I hope you find peace." Then she hit send and closed the email forever. Some apologies didn't need reconciliation, only closure. Life slowly returned to normal. Maya poured her energy into her job, spent more time with friends, and even started painting again. One day, while organizing her laptop files, she hovered over the folder labeled Collins Evidence. For a moment she hesitated, then moved it to the trash and pressed delete. She whispered, "You don't get to live in my head anymore." And for the first time, the silence that followed felt peaceful, not empty. A few months later, Maya was invited to speak at a mental health awareness seminar. She almost said no, but Dr. Lewis encouraged her. "You don't have to relive it," she said gently. "Just share what you learned." Standing at the podium, Maya looked out at the audience, faces full of empathy and curiosity. She began softly, "When someone you trust breaks that trust, it can feel like the world ends. But it doesn't. You rebuild. You protect yourself. You speak up." The room was silent when she finished. Then applause. After the seminar, several people approached her, some with tears in their eyes. One woman said, "I've been scared to report my therapist for months. Hearing you, I think I finally can." Maya smiled gently. "That's why I spoke. No one deserves silence." Walking out into the cool evening air, she felt something she hadn't in a long time: freedom. The kind that comes not from revenge but from courage. She tilted her face toward the sky and whispered, "It's over." News spread that Dr. Collins had moved out of state and was now calling himself a life coach. But his history followed him. Every licensing board had been notified. Every employer knew. He couldn't hide anymore. When a reporter reached out to Maya for comment, she declined politely. "This isn't my story anymore," she said. Because it wasn't. Her story wasn't about him. It was about survival, and the quiet strength that comes from standing your ground when no one believes you. Maya still met with her support group every month. They talked about boundaries, trust, and recovery. They even joked sometimes, calling themselves the Survivor's Circle. It wasn't about rehashing pain, it was about reclaiming power. As Clara once said during one meeting, "He thought we were weak, but we built a whole network because of him." Maya smiled. He underestimated the wrong people. And they all laughed, not bitterly but freely. On the anniversary of the day she filed the complaint, Maya wrote a simple note in her journal. "Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means refusing to let the wrong people write your story." She closed the journal, set it beside her bed, and turned off the light. Outside, rain tapped softly against the window. Inside, for the first time in a long while, Maya slept peacefully, without fear, without anger, and without secrets. Justice had been done. Trust had been rebuilt. And Maya Carter was finally free. Moral lesson. When trust is broken, silence protects the wrong person. Speak up, document everything, and stand for truth, even when it shakes the ground beneath you. Justice begins the moment you stop doubting your own voice. Thanks you for watching, and please remember to tell us where you are watching from today. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more.